Hello and thanks for choosing Rwanda television programs. You're watching RTV News Live. It's a pleasure bringing you the latest here in Rwanda and around the world. This is what we have coming up tonight. As Rwanda is about to host the Women Deliver Conference, some women in Rwanda appreciate the value that the country gives them because it inspires them to work for their development as well as the development of the country. Medical experts urge people to pay attention about alcoholic drinks because if not controlled, it can lead to various diseases. Now, Giselle Mumarungwe and Junior Hakuzumwami have won the women's and men's categories respectively of the 2023 Cogebanque Tennis Open. It's a pleasure to have your company tonight. My name is Olive Nete. Now in the news in details, as Rwanda is about to host the Women Deliver Conference, some women in Rwanda appreciate the value that the country gives them because it inspires them to work for their development as well as the development of the country. We have details on this story.
Liberata Mukamana, a 45-year-old woman, says that she always dreamed to be an entrepreneur since childhood and she achieved it. I grew up ambitious and I loved trading. At our home, at the harvest of fruits, my mother would send me to the market to sell them. And in secondary, I studied education. But though I did that, I always felt like joining business. Afterwards, I did education for a short time, like 2 years. And the money I got from it, I used it to start a small business. The value that the country attributes to women is what led her to get the courage to take a loan so that she can expand her activities. Currently, she has a business of producing hygiene materials and she also built a hotel in Gasabo district and she currently has 50 employees. She says that the goal is to achieve great extent. The President of the Republic always said that women are able, and that inspired me, and I started from a small loan and continued to take a big one as I continued my activities. And currently, I still work with the bank in my activities. I started by selling kitchen utensils and I used to import them. Me and my husband, we complement each other and we are also together in this business. Men also say that the achievements made by women in Rwanda are remarkable.
Women are now bold and they are developing and they have confidence and every woman is able to work in their ability and the law is also on their side. Some women traders are even taking loans to grow their businesses and they're able to make good brands. When a woman has money, she uses it for the benefit of her home.
Speaking of development, there are some women who used to be street vendors, but now they currently have 7 good places in markets to conduct their businesses. They say that they also look forward to expand their activities. If I get a big amount of money, I can be able to expand and even rent a bigger place. And that would really help me in my activities, such as paying school fees for my children. And this would also help me to buy a big plot in the years to come. From Monday the 17th, Rwanda will host the International Women's Development Conference organized by the Women Deliver organization. The conference will be held for the first time on the African continent. It will be attended by more than 6,000 people from 160 countries around the world. Mireille Batamuriza, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion, points out that the conference is based on the idea that when a woman is empowered, she contributes to her development as well as that of her country in general. They look at the current status of a woman, the challenges that she meets. This conference also evaluates all categories of women, young ones, their challenges, those who are educated and even those who are in rural areas, and those with a number of challenges that hinder their development. She also points out that Rwanda will gain a lot in hosting the meeting, but also has a lot to share to other countries that will attend the conference. This is raising the country's flag internationally and also to show other countries who are still behind that this is possible, and also show them that when you are supported with good leadership and when citizens abide by the set goals, It is all possible. Women are able to lead, able to carry out other various activities, and they are able when they are given a chance to study, and also when they are given a platform and when they are empowered. But this is also an opportunity to learn from other countries who are ahead of us, what they have achieved, and what they do better than us. Faith Bacon from the Philippines, who is in Rwanda to attend the conference, points out that when women are supported and empowered, the world also benefits from it.
There are families that women are asked to involve themselves in the community, in government, in society as equal partners of men in decision making, also in doing business. I think in all walks of life, it's important that women.
Other subjects that will be discussed in the conference include how women can also take the lead in making decisions about their reproductive health, because if not done well, it affects them as well as the whole family. The organizing committee note that they chose Rwanda as the country who will host the conference because it is a country that is characterized with good governance, which prioritizes gender equality. It is taking place for the 6th time, and the recent conference was held in Canada.
Now moving ahead with health matters, medical experts urge people to pay attention about alcohol drinking because if not controlled, it can lead to various diseases such as cancers, cardiovascular diseases, and other life-threatening behaviors. We have details on the story as well.
In a center called Chiradiha in Rusororo sector in Gasawa district, in morning hours, people are consuming alcoholic drinks, but they say that they control their drinking.
I control my drinking. When I'm thirsty, I drink such as Mutsingi or Primus. There are other strong alcoholic drinks that we consume.
The ongoing issue of drinking is one of the major issues being currently discussed due to the fact that people are being drunkards, and this affects the development of the country in general. Some people say that they know the negative effects of alcohol, but they also say that it is hard to quit drinking.
The thing is, when you drink, it is hard to stop, and what you are drinking is not water. And when you drink one bottle and you feel good, you continue doing it, and then other people join you, and it becomes too much. And it is very hard to control drinking alcohol. The reason is because when you are drinking and other people keep coming and offer you beer, it is hard to stop.
The problem with drunkardness is this. Let's say if a man works for 2,000 and he has like 3 children. At the end, he uses that money earned to drink. Gilbert Nzaramba, a trader in the center, said that alcoholic drinks are among the most sold products in the area. He says that there is need for continuous campaigns that teaches people how to preserve their health.
Sometimes people drink as if they are depressed, because when you drink without controlling it, that is already a huge problem. Those people also exist. What is required is continuous campaigns to teach people how they can build and take care of their life, because people will always drink. But what is important is how people can build their life.
According to the Ministry of Health, there is no amount of alcohol that a person consumes that does not affect their health in the short or long term.
Drinking alcohol is becoming like a pandemic, most especially in the youth. We say that alcohol is not for the young, but it is not for the adult either. You find people drinking within working hours and even after working, yet alcohol is not good for their health. We usually say that people should drink less, and they say that they control it, but what would be good is that they should quit.
The Ministry of Health also points out that people who drink between 3 to 6 bottles of beer a week has higher risk of developing non-communicable diseases such as cancers, hypertension, diabetes, and others, while those who drink more than 6 bottles a week are at higher risk of stroke, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and plus other life-threatening conditions.
Now moving ahead to agricultural matters, Quality Planting Seeds multipliers appreciate that seeds which used to be imported are now multiplied in Rwanda, but adds that they are costly because of a few number of multipliers. The Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources demonstrates that the expensiveness of these seeds goes hand in hand with the increase of the food cost at the market. Prince Manzi with the report.
In this cultivation trimester 2024A, instructions of the Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources regarding the distribution of industrial fertilizers and seeds demonstrate that the cost of seeds increased between 30 and 200. The maize seed increased highly between 150 and 200. Jean-Claude Hakizimana, heading the cooperative of cultivators in Nyabihu district, the multiplied seeds, states that for seeds to be multiplied in Rwanda and yet expensive, there's a reason. We multiply, and after, we are given a company that we work with that is supposed to process and sell the seed. Because for us, we are not certified, but we work with that company. When you calculate the whole process's price, you find that it is high. Some of the cultivators say that if rather expensiveness of seeds would also be because of their quality and production would have been great, as there is also the government subsidy. We are willing for a good quality that will be productive. We are not bothered by money. When the seed is of bad quality, we fall into loss as cultivators. But when the quality is good, we have no issue. Personnel in the agricultural sector also say that the expensiveness of the multiplied seeds is because of the few number of multipliers in Rwanda. The Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources demonstrates that in the cultivation trimester of 2024A, there was an increase of the cost of the seeds compared to previous years. The Director General of the Rwanda Agriculture Board, Dr. Telesport Ndabamenye, reiterates that the maize seed was highly increased by this cost hand in hand with the increase of food prices at the market.
Ubungubu ku mbuto y'ibigori ya hybrid ikiro usanga kijya kugera mu bihumbi 2,400-500.
On the hybrid maize seed, it is 2,400 to 2,500 per kilogram, and sometimes to 2,700, depending on the type of the seed. And the government will subsidy all of these types with 1,700 francs per kilogram. But at the end of the day, this price goes with how high is the price at the market. We used to have maize at 400 to 600, but now you find that it is around 1,000. For wheat, the increase is also there, but again goes with the increase of these prices on the market. The Ministry of Agriculture and Animal Resources demonstrates that the quality planting seeds to be subsidized in this 2024A are maize, soy, and wheat. Only 29 private bodies are in contract with the Rwanda Agriculture Board for selling quality planting seeds to cultivators in the Hunganire program. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Prince, for the report. Now moving ahead with agricultural matters still, investors in the agriculture sector engaged in processing foods have been asking for better access to long-term low-interest loans with a grace period before they are required to start repaying the loans so that their investments are given enough time to become profitable. Prince Manzi continues.
Those engaged in the processing of agricultural products point out that the conditions of regular loans simply cannot work in their line of business. This is a serious problem because a loan at an interest rate of 18% cannot be paid back in a business that relies on seasonal crops. With harvests coming every 3 months, we are forced to store much of the produce so that market prices remain relatively stable and we are able to pay farmers enough to motivate them to go back into their fields to plant more. We in the processing business can only manage a small credit to like 8% with a grace period of 2 to 3 years for having an investment and be able to sufficiently supply the Rwanda market. You find that it's been 2 years and the funds allocated in the project are not yet received, and that is a problem. Agricultural Bank would be a great solution. In 2015, there was initiated a will to introduce a bank, but it slowed down. But currently, in the measurements in place, this issue should be discussed to see if it can't be a solution. Valence Rukesha, an expert in the financial sector, demonstrates some of the reasons that would lead to lack of collaboration between the financial institutions and entrepreneurs in the agricultural sector.
Banki cyangwa ikigo cy'imari gishaka gutanga inguzanyo kigomba gutanga inguzanyo kirabireba byose kikareba izo risks zirimo.
Bank or any other financial institution to provide loans, it analyzes losses that might be there. called risks. These institutions do not foresee where the funds, in these cases, will come from, hence be difficult to find the break-even. This hinders financial institutions to collaborate with businesses in this sector, as well as struggling to assess the grace period. The Development Bank of Rwanda demonstrates that last year there was an establishment of a fund worth 55 billion Rwanda francs to be used in 5 years, specifically for answering some of these issues. These are funds given for 10 years with a grace period of 3 years. This is for cooperatives and persons. For someone contacting BRD directly, he is given over 90% of the possible loan and pay on an 8% rate. And the financial institution given at 4.5%, the 90% is allocated to the business. It is paid on an 8% rate. This is an opportunity for the agricultural sector. Only 5% of loans provided by financial institutions is allocated to the agricultural sector, carried out by 70% of Rwandans and contributing 36% of the country's GDP. According to NST1 goals, the country aims at increasing loans allocated to the agricultural sector to 10.4% in 2024 from the current 5.2%. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Prince, for the report. Now moving ahead, organizers of this year's Ubumuntu Arts Festival have noted that it is a good opportunity to share Rwanda's history using the country's culture to do so. This is the 9th time the festival has been organized, and this year it is being held at the Kigali Genocide Memorial at Gisozi, using plays, dance, and games to showcase Rwanda's rich culture, but also the country's painful past.
So the first day of Ubumuntu Arts Festival, the 9th edition, went really well. The audience was diverse, performances are diverse, but what really made me really happy is to see the level of growth in the local groups, in the Rwandan theater groups or companies, the way they portrayed the theme of belief and the whole message we're trying to put across, that when you fear, faith over fear, it really went well. You could feel tensions, you could feel moments of relief, moments of hopefulness, and for me that was really nice. The audience was really amazing. Different people from different backgrounds. Performances on stage really went well, and I think everyone did justice to the truth that wanted to portray.
Was the lineup intentional? Because I noticed that from the beginning, like it was climbing and going. So if I were to rate it, I would actually go. So was it intentional?
Yeah, we try to, the way I rent the lineup, we also try to consider the different energies and different professionalism. Because the kind of themes that are being portrayed here or being performed here, right here on stage, the performances are quite intense. We don't want the audience to be to reach a point where they are tired. So when you come, you're full of energy. So we give you something that goes with that kind of energy. So the more you see it, the more you start feeling tired and also emotionally tired. So that's how we keep bringing more powerful, energetic performances towards the end. So the people can go energized, so they can come back tomorrow.
Talk a little about the...
Like for instance, like the street dancers from DRC are on the last day of Sunday. Why? Because they just collect everything. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the other one happening at the spas?
Oh, there's also, so the festival has also grown to some level. We have now a performance running also at L'espace in Kachiru. It's called the Book of Life. It's a collaboration between Canada and Rwanda.
Present at the festival were dignitaries that included Israel's ambassador to Rwanda, who pointed out that creating links between his country's culture and Rwanda's through things like study tours has been of interest him since coming here. The festival was preceded by a meeting focusing on culture from the diplomatic perspective, and it was attended by members of the diplomatic corps. Also present was the Director General of the Rwanda Cultural Heritage Academy, and he commended the fact that cultural diplomacy is being used to bring people together. The Ubumuntu Arts Festival that began on Friday will end Sunday is featuring participants from up to 20 countries globally. Now to sports matters, Giselle Umumararungu and Junior Hakuzumwami have won the women's and men's categories respectively of the 2023 Cogebanque Tennis Open. The annual competition has been organized since 2016.
More than 150 people participated in this year's competition in Kigali, grouped in different categories depending on gender, whether or not they are professionals or they have any disabilities.
I'm very happy because last time I was knocked out in the semi-finals, so winning this time around has made me very happy indeed.
This is a good experience, helping us to prepare for even bigger competitions like the international one coming up, so we are confident of doing well. The organizers of the competition are happy with the results they have been seeing since 2016 when it first began. One of the advantages is the fact that we get a very high participation rate, and you know that sports helps to promote good health. We started with 6 clubs and now we have 12 participating in the competition from the provinces and even abroad. The moment they hear our name of Cogebanque, they register to participate in the tournament. Organizing the event has other advantages as well for the bank. It has a good public relations impact in general, but our clients are also here, those who love tennis. Therefore, our objective is not just geared towards marketing, but to also promote such events that bring people together. This is the 7th time the Cogebanque Tennis Open has been organized, and it lasted for 8 days.
Thank you for staying loyal to Rwanda television programs. Have a blessed and fruitful weekend ahead.